Good day everyone. Our lesson for today is all about quadrilaterals, particularly parallelograms. Definition, properties, theorems, and problem solving. But before that, don't forget to subscribe and share this video to your classmates and friends and hit the notification bell for more updates. Also, you can find different subjects in this YouTube channel. Just select the playlist section, and finally, please do not skip the ads in this video. Thanks, and now let's proceed to our main topic for today, which is all about parallelograms. A parallelogram is a quadrilateral whose opposite sides are parallel. So, as you can see dito sa figure natin, BC, line segment BC and line segment AD are parallel lines. Line segment AD and line segment DC are also parallel lines. And this is an example of a parallelogram. It is a quadrilateral because it has four sides. So this line segment AB and is parallel to CD, and the line segment BC is parallel to line segment AD. Okay, its symbol is a small figure. So yung small figure na to, ito yung symbol ng parallelogram. Okay, naming a parallelogram. A parallelogram is named using all four vertices. You can start from any one vertex, but you must continue in a clockwise or counterclockwise direction. Example, kung nag-start ako ng A, it should be A, B, C, D. Kundi naman, D, A, B, C. Pwede rin siyang D, C, B, A. Pero hindi pwede yung B, D, CA. Hindi pwedeng ganon. Kailangan, it's either paikot siya counterclockwise or clockwise. For example, this can be either parallelogram ABCD or parallelogram ADCB. The basic properties. There are four basic properties of all parallelograms. These properties have to do with the angles and sides and the diagonals. So let's start with the opposite sides. Theorem. Opposite sides of a parallelogram are congruent. So, ibig sabihin, yung parallel lines, yung mga lines na yon ay congruent. Like, for instance, yung BC at AD, congruent sila. Meaning to say, they have the equal, meron silang equal length of each side. So, AB and DC are also parallel, so they are congruent. That means that that line segment AB is congruent to line segment CD, and the line segment BC is congruent to line segment AD, as you can see in the figure. So if AB daw is 7, if AB is 7, then blank is also 7. So what do you think is the side? Correct. The answer is DC. If AB is 7, therefore DC is also 7. One pair of opposite angles is angle A and angle C. Another pair is angle B and angle D. What does it mean? Ibig sabihin, yung measurement ni angle nito ay katulad ng measurement ni angle nito. That's diagonal. And then, yung measurement ni angle nito at saka yung measurement ni angle nito ay pareho din. So, they have the same measurement, no? Pagdating sa angle. Okay? Yung degree nila. Theorem, another theorem for opposite angles. Opposite angles of a parallelogram are congruent. So, gaya ng sabi ko, B and D are congruent, therefore angle A and angle C are congruent. Complete. If the measurement of angle A is 75 degrees and the measurement of angle B is 105 degrees, then angle C is blank. The answer is 75 degrees. And angle D is what? Correct, 105 degrees. Kasi nga, sabi dito, opposite angles of a parallelogram are congruent. If it is 105, therefore the opposite angle is also 105. If it is 75, therefore yung opposite angle niya is 75. Did you get it? Correct. Now, consecutive angles. Each angle in consecutive to two other angles, angle A is consecutive with angle B and D. Okay? So, what does it mean? So, this one is consecutive and that one is consecutive. Consecutive angles. Okay? Meaning, kapag pinag-add mo ang A at saka B, ang angle ng A and B, magpo-form ka ng 90 degrees. Ang angle ng A at angle ng D, pag pinag-add mo, magpo-form ka ng 180 degrees. Okay? 180 degrees. Angle A and angle B, angle A and angle D. Consecutive angles in parallelograms are supplementary. Gaya ng sabi ko nina, kapag pinag-add mo yung kanilang mga angles, yung mga consecutive angles na yon, makakabuo ka ng 180 degrees. Okay? So, consecutive interior angles are supplementary. Therefore, if the measurement of A and the measurement of angle B is equal to 180, and the measurement of angle A and the measurement of angle D is also equal to 180. So, nasabi ko na kanina yan. If the measurement of C is equal to 46 degrees, what is the measurement of D? Of B? C, angle C and angle B are consecutive angle. Correct. So, consecutive sila. So, therefore, nakaka-form sila ng 180 degrees. Kung 180 degrees ang total nila, ano ang measurement ni B kung ang measurement ni C ay 46? So, we just subtract 180 minus 46. We will get 134 degrees. Okay? Diagonals. Diagonals are segments that join non-consecutive vertices. So these are the diagonals in the parallelogram. Okay? So for example, in this diagram, the only two diagonals are line segment AC at saka line segment BD. Yan, AC and BD. Diagonal property. When the diagonals of a parallelogram intersects, they meet at the midpoint of each diagonal. So we have midpoint P. So point P is the midpoint of segment AC and segment BD. We're talking about here the diagonals. The two diagonals, kapag nag-intersect sila, magkakaroon sila ng point of intersection. Therefore, they bisect each other. So AP, so therefore, AP is line segment AP is congruent to line segment PC, and line segment BP is congruent to line segment PD. Kasi nga, bisector. So, pag sabi midpoint kasi, kinakat niya yung line into two equal parts. Okay? So, yun ang ibig sabihin ng midpoint for the parallelogram. But the diagonals are not congruent. Remember, AC is not equal to BD. Hindi to equal. AC is not equal to BD. Iba ang size nito kaysa sa size ng BD. Okay, kaya nga meron silang line na ganyan. Okay? So, theorem. The diagonals of parallelogram bisect each other. Yun. Nag-bisect nga naman. So, yun ang yun lang yung theorem. So, sinasabi lang niya na kapag yung diagonals nag-bisect sila, okay, nakakat sila into two equal parts. Proving quadrilaterals as parallelogram. Theorem 1. If both pairs of opposite sides of a quadrilaterals are congruent, then the quadrilateral is a parallelogram. If both pairs of opposite sides of a quadrilateral are congruent. So in here, the pairs are congruent. Yung EH tsaka FG congruent. Yung HG at saka EF congruent din. So this is a proof that the given figure is a parallelogram. If segment EF is congruent to GF and if FG is congruent to EF, then quadrilateral EFGH is a parallelogram. Theorem number 2. If one pair of opposite sides of the quadrilateral are both congruent, Pareho silang congruent. And parallel at the same time. Then the quadrilateral is a parallelogram. So if segment EF is congruent to segment GH and segment EF is parallel at the same time to segment HG, then the quadrilateral EFGH is a parallelogram. Theorem. Theorem 3, if both pairs of the opposite angles of a quadrilateral are congruent, then the quadrilateral is a parallelogram. So as you can see, the opposite sides, nasabi ko na kanina to, are congruent. H and F are congruent. Angle E and angle G are congruent. So therefore, the quadrilateral EFGH is a parallelogram. Theorem number 4. If the diagonals of the quadrilateral bisect each other, then the quadrilateral is a parallelogram. So we have this. If M is the midpoint of the EG and GH, EG, line segment EG and line segment FH, which are the diagonals of the given quadrilateral, then it is a parallelogram. EM is equal to GH and HM is equal to FM. So, that's the midpoint. Kapag yung mga yan, na-prove mo, yung apat na theorem na yan, na-prove mo sa isang figure, ibig sabihin, yung figure na tinutukoy natin ay parallelogram. Nagets nyo ba? Kaya meron tayong apat na theorem. So, we need those four theorems para ma-prove natin na yung sinasabing figure is a parallelogram. So we have these 5 ways to prove that the quadrilateral is a parallelogram. So first, show that both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. Second, show that both pairs of opposite sides are congruent. Dapat lagi silang congruent. Third, show that one pair of opposite sides are both parallel and congruent. Dapat nagmamatch sila. Then, show that both pairs of opposite sides are are congruent. And finally, show that the diagonals bisect each other. Kapag yan limang yan napatunayan mo, okay, in a given figure, then it is proven na yung given figure is a parallelogram. Example. Example number 1. Find the values of x and y that ensures that the given quadrilateral is a parallelogram. So we have 6x, 4x plus y, and y plus 2 and 2y. To determine if it is a parallelogram, tignan natin yung kanyang mga parallel sides. So we have y plus 2 and 2y for these parallel sides. We have 6x and 4x plus 8. So ang gagawin natin, equate lang natin yung mga yan. So let's start with 6x equals 4x plus 8. And then, ililipat ko si 4x, magiging negative, di ba pag nilipat ko to, magiging negative 4x. Okay, so plus 6. They don't have the same sign, so we will subtract. So magiging 2x yung answer natin. Divide both sides by 2, x is equal to 4. If we will substitute 4 here, 6 times 4 is 24. If we will put 4 here, 4 times 4 is 16 plus 8 is 24. So therefore, these are congruent. Now, on the other hand, we have 2y equals y plus 2 for the other sides. So, lilipat ko si y, magiging negative y. So, magiging y is equal to 2 na lang. Because pag nilipat ko siya, negative y yan plus 2, isa-subtract ko sila, so y na lang matitira equals 2. If y is equal to 2, so let's change this 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. Let's change y into 2. 2 times 2 is 4. So, therefore, parallel sila. They are congruent. You got it? Another example. Find the value of x and y. Okay, that ensures that a quadrilateral is a parallelogram. But in this portion, I think we're looking for this side. And this side. So, dalawa. This angle pala, sorry. And then this angle. So, given this is 120. Okay. So, the total value of a parallelogram the total degree inside the parallelogram is 360 degrees. Okay? So, by the way, consecutive pala siya. So, we can do consecutive. Pwede naman pala. Or, pwede rin yung opposite. Sabi kasi dun sa, marami kasing way eh. So, sabi dun sa theorem, yung opposite angle ay equal dito. So, ibig sabihin, 120 din ito. Itong portion na ito. So, let's prove. So, ililipat natin yon, magiging negative 8. Tama? So, magiging ano na lang, 112. And divide both sides by 2, the answer is 56. So, 2 times 56 is 112 plus 8, 120. Correct. So, on the other hand, yung 5y plus 120, ang sabi naman dito is yung supplementary. That is the consecutive naman, yung sinasabi kanina. Yung consecutive angle creates a supplementary angle. So, we have 5y plus 120 equals 180. Lilipat ko si 120, so magiging 60 na lang. Divide both sides by 5, so y equals 12. 5 times y, which is 12, is equal to 60 plus 120 is equal to 180. So, supplementary siya. So, na-prove natin that the consecutive angles are supplementary and the opposite angles are equal. Tama? Okay, using the theorem that I presented a while ago. So, that's all about the topic on the parallelogram, definition, properties, theorem, and sample problem. With that, thank you very much for listening.